Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is branding and how important it is to your author business. And I know that most people hear this word and they cringe because they really don't want to think about it. But when we're creating visual content, it's really important for you as the author to understand and protect your brand. Now, the great thing for us is that we have a starting point because we have our book covers. And obviously, they've more than likely been designed by professional designers. So you have a place to start. You know what your themes of your book are. You know whether, like, if you're a historical romance author, or you write thrillers, or you write suspense, or women's fiction, or young adult. You understand that all of those particular genres have kind of a look to them. Your covers will have a color scheme. They'll have colors already there, so you can use those. They will also already have fonts on them. So really, with branding, you want to use your covers as a jumping off point. And when you talk to your graphic designer who's created your covers, you should be asking for a style guide. So this is one that I've created just for myself, for my Confused and Terrified brand, my nonfiction brand. And I created, here's my logos at the top, my color palette that I use on Canva when I'm creating graphics. And you'll notice I have the hex codes in there so I don't ever lose them or, have to look them up. They're all in one place. The fonts, these are the fonts that I use for creating the graphics. And it's really important that you stick to your style guide because you want people to know when they see your graphics that it's you. They can look at the graph and go, oh yeah, that looks like her. And they recognize, over and over again when you're doing your social media, when you're putting on your blog posts, images for your blog posts, and your covers, that they all go together, that they are one single brand, and that you don't deviate. So I also used some brand inspiration. These are some of the pictures and colors that I use, some of the prints that I use, just to get an idea about what I can use when I need to think about creating a graphic. Now, the great thing about having a style guide is for our busy author life, you don't have to think about what colors to use, what kind of images to use, what font to use. You have already decided. You don't have to sit in front of your computer looking at the blank page going, how am I going to create this? What do I need to do? Because for us as authors, it can just be really overwhelming because this kind of imagery doesn't come natural to all of us. I mean, some authors are really artsy and really love this kind of thing and it comes really naturally. But then there's a lot of us like me who this did not come naturally. I had to learn it over time and it was a tough road. So I did have some help. Obviously, my daughter, who I call the diva, is a graphic designer. But you know how daughters are. It wasn't like she was, I don't know. I think it was, it was hard because she wasn't always happy to teach me, So I really had to learn what looks good, what I should use, what I shouldn't use, and how to balance, which is difficult. So all of these things that you need to do when you're creating a graphic, this is why having a style guide makes all of the difference, because you already have it established and you can play around with it and you don't have to decide everything all at once. But like I said, the great thing for us is that we already have our covers to use as a jumping off point. I would stick with that because you already have a place to start. So I hope that helps. You just look at the style guide and I will put it in a file in the event if you guys want it as a PDF. Okay, talk to you in a little bit.